here we are. We've reached a point where I realized we were going to talk about Victoria Alonso here, but we're just kind of going to talk about everything here at once because there's a couple things that we can talk about. The whole Jonathan Majors thing, the Alonso thing, just toss it all into one because there's been all sorts of stuff in the last week. But primarily, let's start with Victoria Alonso. After her people came out, we're like, hey, just wait. We're going to release a ton of dirt. You guys aren't going to believe how despicable Disney and Marvel are. A week goes by, we hear nothing, and suddenly, like, we've settled out of court. We are moving along.
Who'd have seen that one coming?
Yeah. She got a big old payday to stay quiet.
She did.
Yep.
No, let's be honest. They weren't just going to get rid of her for no reason.
Yeah.
That was obviously something. Like, if it was the whole contract thing and she breached it, she's an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Like, nicest person in the world, you're dumb. Go. I'm sorry. Like, it's just how it works, right? But if it was everything else, like, I could imagine whatever she had on them also wasn't great for her.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, you always get it in Hollywood. It's like, oh, I've got something on you. Yeah, but it's always going to come back on you as well.
Yep.
There's not a single decent person running any of these things.
No.
It's just how it goes.
It's
also the fact that she was in charge of VFX and it's as it is now, like, that was something.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I expect to be magically fixed now that she's gone, but hey, maybe it'll change.
Yeah. It's, I mean, if you look at the whole bigger picture of this whole thing, she has been with Marvel Studios and Marvel for quite a long time. So
basically the beginning.
Yeah. So it's kind of a weird position, and everything is kind of like a weird way to look at it, because you're kind of looking at it going, well, what exactly was so bad, and what did she have? And then, obviously, this came down to Bob Iger going, this is not going to be a public explosion like Chapek versus Scarlett Johansson. They did not want that. And that's a smart decision. That's very smart, but a part of me just wonders, what exactly was the end goal here on both sides? And why didn't, like, instead of firing her, why didn't they just do this out the gate? Because they would have known this would have got out there, right? Like, they could have stepped in and be like, hey, here's why we're letting you go. Let's just make a monetary agreement right now. And we're just going to say you left on good terms and you're leaving. Kind of like Amy Pascal when she went to Universal, right? Like, it was like, oh, okay, here she goes, and we're all happy, and she's still involved with Spider-Man things, but outside of that, nothing more as Sony at a top level. So it's an interesting one that this even happened in such a public way, and we kind of saw some backlash, and then nothing comes of it. So, I don't know. Really weird situation.
Yeah, I mean, I say the fact that, we don't really know, but you have people like Variety and THR, and I said it on here before that they say like Feige knew it was going to happen, but was remaining silent on it. That to me said everything. It's like, oh, so she's clearly done something wrong, or she's been doing something wrong. Like, there's no chance you'd have someone as outspoken as him. We had the whole thing with Iger, the whole he went to bat for Gunn and all this sort of stuff, like. He doesn't come across as the type of guy to just let things go if someone's being wronged like that. So, and especially someone who's been there since the beginning, right? There's got to be a sense of loyalty with that guy. So that to me said everything. Like whether it could very well have been he wanted her gone as well, or something like that. He was part of a wrongful getting rid of her. Like I don't know, but we'll never really know at this point. So. It has happened. She's gone for one reason or another. They've settled it. It got slightly messy because at that point because she came out and the whole is wrongful stuff. But hey, it is what it is. When Marvel seems to have something go wrong, it's never the cleanest. It's always messy.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's a whole situation. I will still say the best thing she ever did was when X-Men Dark Phoenix came out. She tweeted about how garbage the movie was and Marvel had nothing to do with it. That's her crowning achievement. She just completely destroyed that film on Twitter.
Yeah, completely forget about the representation she's brought on the screen and the champion for all the young kids and the LGBT and the women. It's that one tweet.
It's that tweet.
That one tweet.
Where people are like, "Hey, what'd you think of X-Men? She's a garbage. It's terrible. What were they thinking?" Like, what?
I genuinely forgot she did that. Thank you very much. That's glorious. I'll miss her for that reason alone.
That's it.
Yeah, I hope everything she's done there, they don't just backwalk, right? I don't think they will. The whole Miss Marvel and America Chavez and all this and all that. Carry that on. I don't think they'll just outright stop it, but
same.
We'll see.
I mean, they'd be stupid to because they've seen, what happens and the amount of, despite what you people believe in, it's like, no, only white males sell. No, definitely not. You just got to look at the
Considering
demographics.
the fact that Scarlet Witch is currently the most popular character they have, yeah.
And Captain Marvel merchandise and comics and trade paperbacks have been some of the best-selling, including Miss Marvel for the last decade. But,
it's true.
She helped a lot of that on the Marvel front. So I hope, we'll see how things shake out. Now, just a little on the whole Jonathan Majors thing, because people ask us to talk about it a little bit. What is there to say?
Not a whole lot. Cause it's people are, shows the evidence. You legally can't.
Yeah. Yep.
You just outright illegally can't. The minute they show it, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
It could change public opinion of him, sure, but court-wise, they can't use that evidence. It's done. It's what can you do? But it's if he did it, he's done, right? If he didn't do it, then cool, I guess. Just go about as normal.
No, I 100% we gotta wait more on this, and we'll see what happens. And
especially when there's that photo, I think either photo or security footage of her being at a club after the fact, and she's using the hand that she said was injured.
Yeah.
There are some. I haven't looked into it that much. I've only just seen that being talked about, so I don't really have an opinion on that. But it very well could be a case of neither of them are in the right, and they're both wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Literally a Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, right? One's slightly more psychotic than the other, but they're not great people on either side. But we'll see. That'll pan out, but end of the day, if he is a massive bellend and they get rid of him, cool. Just get someone else for Kang. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't even need an in-universe reason to do it. Enough of this. Oh, they can't do it because they're it's no.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to have one, he's a multiversal character. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's built in. Right. End of the day, if you can't, it doesn't matter. Just recast him.
Right. Yeah.
People aren't going to suddenly go, "Who the hell is this?"
Right.
We've seen what Kang looks like. Just have him in the same outfit. Bang, there you go.
And that's the thing, and a lot of people are talking about the whole situation. So look, that's an easy explanation. It's literally one of the easiest explanations. You don't have to worry about that. So it's a whole situation. I mean, when there's more evidence, we'll find out what happens, and then we'll talk about it. But currently, there's been no updates, no development, so there's nothing new, really. There's literally nothing. So
apart from him being dropped and everything, but that was to be expected, really.
Exactly. So there you go, everybody. That's kind of a sum up of that whole story and what's going on